Namaste and happy Friday, everybody. My name is KJ Hamus, and I'm so excited to be with you here today on this Friday for our Slow Flow Plus Yin class. Today, we are going to be focusing on our neck and shoulders and upper back. So, hoping you haven't had too much of a week of hunching over a computer or looking at text, but it's possible that you have. So I hope this helps you find some relief in those areas while we breathe and while we get into our body and into our breath. A few things you will definitely want to have for class today: a strap or maybe even a belt or a towel. You can use your towel then also as your blanket. Same thing, you can use your blanket as a strap should you need that later on. And then I always recommend having blocks or block equivalents. So books, pots and pans that are the same height, whatever works, and then a pillow or a yoga bolster. So as we start to really come into our practice, I'm going to invite you to take a seat that's most comfortable to you. And that's going to be important to find. You can also do the majority of this opening in a chair. So if you've got a dining room chair and you just don't feel like being on the ground today, grab a dining room chair and pull that on up. Feel free to do that there. And that, or even on the couch if it's comfy couch, you don't want to sink too much into it. So we will be coming into one of three options: your dining room chair or a chair that just suits you best. On the floor, crisscross applesauce. You can always sit on a block or a blanket or a pillow for that. Or you can come onto your knees and then placing a block underneath you. So finding one of three shapes that's really going to help you feel strong, feel authoritative in your own body. And that's why we offer up the variations. What is going to suit you best? What is going to meet your needs? And we want to start that right off the bat. If you do take the kneeling position, you can always place a blanket underneath your knees as well. If you're in a chair and you find that your feet also don't touch the ground, I invite you to stick a pillow or a blanket also underneath your feet just to bring the ground closer to you. Plus it's really nice and cushy, which there's never anything wrong with. With that said, finding a soft point for your gaze in front of you, whether it's on the wall or on the ground, or closing your eyes if that feels best for you and your body. I'll invite the bell to bring us into our practice on this Friday, October 2nd. Taking a deep, full, slow breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, sigh everything out. Let the first part of your day go. Deep breath in, breathing deep into your belly, your back, and your ribs. And exhale, sigh it out, let it go. One final time in here, breathing in nice cool air. And as you breathe out, letting everything prior to this moment go, arriving on your mat as you orient in space and time. The space being here and the time being now. As we come in and onto our mat, it's important that we take time to honor the stewards of the land who come before us. A reminder, there were indigenous peoples who cared for this land long before we got here. And we honor the first practitioners stemming 5,000 years ago from the subcontinent of India. These first and early practitioners in the indigenous population of India worked together, talked about, and brought us the beautiful yoga practice that we experience today. And as we honor those original practitioners, the first, we're reminded that yoga is more than the shapes we take in our body. It's how we treat ourselves, it's how we treat the world around us, it's how we breathe, and how we work toward liberation for all. So even at the beginning, as we come into a state of finding authority and ownership in our own body, as you do that, I invite you to practice the first of the yamas, ahimsa, meaning non-violence, non-harming. How can you, in this practice on this mat, start to practice non-violence and non-harming towards yourself, so that we can take that off the mat and share that with others? As you continue to just settle in here, bring a gentle awareness to your breath. Using your breath as your guide, start to paint a picture of yourself today and what is accompanying you on the mat. So as you breathe, you notice what is showcasing itself physically. So where you're feeling the most bound in your muscles and your fascia. How is the breath? How are your physical needs interacting with your emotional? So our emotions play a big part in what the body wants to do and what it's going to allow us to do. It can also play a part in how the breath is moving. So take time to acknowledge the emotions you're bringing with you, knowing that all are welcome. And we'll continue as you take these scans one layer at a time. There's no rush. To also observe how the breath is interacting with our mind. Are we able to view the clouds today as thoughts that are just gently moving by, that don't require us to attach or interact with them? Or are the thoughts today like big elephants, weighing heavy, taking up a lot of space? Take your time as you let your breath travel in and out of your body. Notice the different layers. And as you take note of all of those layers, I invite you to start to ask yourself, how can this practice nourish you today? How can it serve you? What do you need in each moment? And that can change as we move from shape to shape, from breath to breath. Use this time now to set your sankalpa, or your intention for your practice. This can be what brought you to your mat today. This can be something that has just come up. This can be something you've been working on. And maybe if nothing is coming to mind, you set your sankalpa around your breath or around ahimsa, being kind to yourself. Take about another minute here. Letting your breath wash over you. Continuing to take your observations. And to just be here. And on your next exhale, bring one hand to your belly and one hand to the crown of the head. As you breathe in, feel the hand on your belly expand. Let the belly expand, breathing deep down diaphragmatically. As you exhale, feel the belly contract lightly, so we're not drawing belly button in, but we're just feeling it move. And feel the energy in the breath travel up to the crown of the head as you press lightly into your top hand on your exhale. Now keeping your spine nice and long, inhale, fill up belly. Feel ribs expand. And as you exhale, feel breath travel up spine as you find length, pressing lightly into the crown of the head. Continue here. Breathing in fully, slow and steady. So letting the breath travel from the chest, from the shoulders, all the way down. Ribs expand, back expands, belly lifts. And then as you exhale, feeling the breath lengthen you as your belly, ribs, and back all move gently towards center. So as you continue there, when we think of contraction, oftentimes we're like, oh, I'm going to bring belly button into spine. Not doing that. We're going to find length and strength in our spine through support of the breath, through the use of this textile reinforcement. If you're finding here sitting in this position is beginning to become uncomfortable, always feel free to move to a wall or reposition yourself in a chair too. Then on your next exhale, bring both hands to the crown of the head, interlacing fingertips. We'll move into our 6 directional breath. As you inhale, pull the air up from the root, the base of the spine, as you lift your hands up, pulling in the breath out of your head. And then as you exhale, gently bring your hands back down, placing hands on the head, feeling the breath travel back to your root. Inhale. Feel the breath lift and rise as you pull breath from crown of head. And then exhale, gently feel the breath, feel the air press back down, traveling to your root. Take that one more time, full inhale. And then full exhale. As you breathe in, bring your hands and cup them on your shoulders like you're holding tennis balls. Feel free to breathe out here. As you inhale, gently lift your arms up. Shoulder blades are going to move naturally up the back. And then as you exhale, feel the shoulders, the arms move down. Inhale, press up, really expanding through your rib cage from side to side. And then exhale, back down. Slow and steady, still diaphragmatically, breathing deep. Last time. Inhale, belly, ribs expand as you lift up. And then exhale, draw back down. Bringing your elbows together. Keep your hands on your shoulders again, like you're cupping tennis balls. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, open up your shoulders. Feel the chest open, shoulder blades squeeze. Exhale, moves back in. Inhale, open up. Breathe into your back. Exhale. Last time, breath in. And breath out. Pause here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, open up the heart. Inhale, draw elbows in. Try and keep the shoulders down the back so we're not scrunching shoulders up to ears. Exhale, open up. Feel heart, feel chest open. Last time, breath in. And breath out. As you inhale, release. Take a few shoulder movements here on your exhale. If you're not on your knees, I'm going to invite you to go to that space if it feels comfortable for you. Feel free to take a moment to come out and adjust the ankles, place a towel or a blanket underneath the ankles if you need, and we'll sit right back down as you're ready. We'll come into our neck cars here. So you can, again, stay seated in a kitchen chair. If you can find a nice tall spine, feel free to stay crisscross applesauce, but you might have better success by sitting up on your block. Cross your hands one over the body, over your shoulders. And then we're going to draw our chin down to our chest. So as you inhale, start to scrape your chin across your collarbone, working toward bringing your right ear to your right shoulder. As you exhale, you're going to feel your natural twist of your neck. Look towards your back pocket. And then the head is going to lift up and over as you inhale. Landing in the gentle neck twist, back pocket, exhale. Not making the movement too sharp. On your inhale, find that lateral stretch so your left ear is going to come to left shoulder. And then exhale, scrape along the left side of the collarbone. You'll keep along those movements. So our hands are here to help us focus on just our neck. We're not getting the rest of our back involved. So use this as tactile reinforcement here. Be like, hey, we're going to stay nice and steady. And find your natural movement. So as you move from the lateral stretch to the twist, it's not a sharp movement. It's a gentle, natural movement. It may not be very big, and that's okay. So take one more full round. And then bring your chin back to center. Pause here. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And then as you're ready, we're going to go in the other direction. So inhale, scrape chin along left side of collarbone as you find your lateral stretch. Inhale, gentle twist. And then the exhale brings it up and back. Inhale, once again, gentle twist. Exhale, lateral stretch to center. Keep moving here. Keep breathing here. Go as slow as you need to. Go as fast as you need to. But notice each movement in its natural rhythm. As we start to open up the cervical spine, opening up the neck. As you're ready, you'll complete one final round. So 3 rounds total on each side. And this time when you come back towards center, As you're ready, on an exhale, lift your chin up and back. Feel the stretch along the front side of your neck. So we do spend a lot of time hunched over. We might be rounding through the back, depending on how we're looking, like think your head's forward. So we're stretching that a lot already. Think about opening up the front side of your neck, which gets a little loose. Okay? Take 2 more deep, slow breaths here. And deep, slow breaths out. Very gently. You can even use one hand on the back of the head to lift your chin back up and release your hand. Shake everything out. Stay with your breath. Take what movement will feel good to you. Inhale and exhale. So we'll learn to stretch just lightly the back side of our body. And come into a big hug. Doesn't matter which hand's on top to start. You can be here, or you can come into your eagle arm variation. I have my left hand currently underneath my right. Yeah. Either option is fabulous. Pick what is going to work best for you. And think about here, rounding the shoulder blades forward. So we're not drawing the front part of our shoulders, we're not hunching over. We're feeling our scapula move alongside the rib cage. Yeah. We'll breathe. Nice long neck. Take one more deep breath in. And deep breath out. As you gently release, you're just going to switch which hand is on top. So we'll get both. If you're taking your eagle arms, try and work your elbows a little farther away from your body and see how it feels to bring them in line with your shoulders. So this is a concentrated stretch along the back, even though it does get a lot of stretching if we're hunched over on computer or on phone. We're being very deliberate, still thinking about opening up. Neck nice and long. Take one more deep breath in. And deep, slow breath out. Go ahead and release here. Shake it out. We're going to come into a series of strengthening exercises for our neck muscles. This is a small sequence by Sharon Fredrickson. So we just want to honor Sharon and note where this sequence comes from. So as you interlace your fingers lightly, I'm going to turn to the side here so you can see me. Place your hands at the base of the skull. And as you inhale, feel as if you're lifting your neck nice and long, lifting your head up. Keep your chin, don't press your chin forward. So far, keep it nice and neutral. Feel your front side of your chest opening. And then from here, as you exhale, press your chin back. So it doesn't really move. We're not like creating a small neck here. You're just using your hands as resistance with the length, and you're pressing your chin back into your head. Breathe there. Take one more breath in, and then breath out. Beautiful. Go ahead and release your hands. Bring one fist to your forehead. Yeah, one fist to your forehead, and then press your forehead into your fist and feel the engagement of all of the muscles on the front side of your chest. So again, things are staying nice and neutral. Now forcing our head forward. It's going to stay right where it's at. Our fist is going to provide resistance here. And you'll notice the engagement of the muscles in your chest. So while if we're bending forward, these muscles can really start to collapse, and we want to think about strengthening them while we open. Take one more breath in and gently release. So we'll come back to the first exercise. Interlace your fingers, lengthen your neck, lift. So again, nice. Look forward, think about lifting, lengthening the neck, then press the back of your head, press your chin into your hands. So engaging the back neck muscles. And then on your next exhale, slowly release. And then we'll bring our other fist, because we want to even things out a little bit. Bring our other fist to our forehead once again, and then press our forehead into the fist. So you're going to feel the engagement of the front side of your body. All the little muscles up here, all the little muscles in your neck. Then slowly release. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, draw right ear to right shoulder. Now pause. We don't want to overstretch this quite yet. We don't really ever want to overstretch. We want to be mindful of that, but we're not forcing a stretch as of yet. And then what you're going to do as you're ready on a breath, bring your right hand to your head. Do not force your head down. We don't want to create instability in the neck. We're just placing our hand here. And then with our hand, we're going to try and lift your head into your hand. So we're starting to strengthen all of the muscles on the left side of the neck. So the hand is only providing resistance. Take a deep diaphragmatic breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Keeping your neck where it's at. Bring your right hand to your right ear and slowly have your hand help you lift your head back up. We want to just be mindful of how we use the muscles. There's a lot of them. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. We'll pause here, feeling just your gentle stretch. Again, you decide what's most gentle. And then as you're ready, left hand is going to come to your head. No pressure. We don't want to destabilize. And then as you're ready, on your breath, press head into hand. Breathe here. Press, press, press. Take a full breath in and out. Gently release hand, bring it to left ear. And slowly help your head come back to center. Go ahead and take some shoulder rolls, move things back and forth as you need to. We'll pause for one final round of breath. So we'll take our 6 directional breath once again. We'll take twice in all of our direction, focusing on the breath. How can the breath help us move? How can it help us be in this moment? So interlacing your hands, as you inhale, lift the air up. As you exhale, feel the air press down. I think we're only going to take it once each direction. Bring your hands to your shoulders. Inhale, lift arms up. Feel ribs expand. Exhale, draw arms down. Inhale, bring arms forward, elbows together. Exhale, open heart. Take a breath in here. Exhale, elbows draw back towards your center. So we're going to come back into elbows together. Inhale, open up, expand into your back. And then exhale, release down, shake it out. From wherever you're at, feel free again to stay in your chair. And we're going to roll over to a neutral tabletop shape. So pause here, taking any movement that feels good and is going to call to you. If you're in your chair, you can take seated cat-cows. So feeling your heart open, inhale, open up. Exhale, round the back, dome it in. Keep breathing here. We'll be here for about 30 or so seconds, but knowing that also you are not constrained by my time. So whatever is going to feel best for you, do that. As you're ready, you'll come back into your neutral spine. And we'll take thread the needle. And so for those of you who may still be in a chair, just one moment and I'll demonstrate what we'll do for our chair variation. So we'll start with our right hand. Inhale, reach arm up. As you exhale, draw right hand underneath the left. You can stay here or you can bring your left hand toward right hip crease. you're in your chair, feel free to stay there. If you feel comfortable and you want to come into a child's pose, please feel free to do that. But in our chair, we're going to lift our right arm up. We're going to draw it across our body. And then using our left hand, just gently placing a little bit of pressure. So we're not going to get the complete, the upper body twist. But that's okay. We're thinking about broadening and opening up our shoulders. Let's help us do that. So take a couple more breaths here. And breaths out. On your next inhale, you'll gently unwind. Lift right arm up. And then exhale, place it back down. Inhale, left arm will come up. Exhale, thread the needle. So once again, if you're in the chair, think about drawing the left arm across the body, opening up through here. So we're just working into our upper back. We'll take 2 more breaths wherever you are at. On your next inhale, slowly lift left arm up, reach up to the sky, and then exhale, set it back down. Take a breath in. Exhale, sit your hips back, come into a child's pose. Legs can be as wide as the mat, or they can be underneath the back. For those of you in a chair, bring your pillow to your chest, and then place your chest over your pillow. Arms can be outstretched along your legs. So we're releasing the back, feeling the stretch in the back. You might in your chair get a little bit more of forward fold variation, and that's okay as long as it feels good in your body. I'm going to say that loud. As long as it feels good in your body, great. If it doesn't, we'll find something else that works. And always feel free to contact me if you need assistance with that. So for those of you in child's pose, if you can stay right here, arms can be by your sides, arms can continue to be out long. If your arms are out long or would like to join us there, you'll reach your arms towards center. And then as you exhale, arms are going to come over to your left, right hand on top of the left. Stretch along the side of your body. If you're in your chair, you'll lift up, reach arms up overhead, and then lean over to your left. So same stretch. Try not to draw shoulders up to ears. Think about keeping them gently down your back. We'll take one more breath here. And breath out. As you're ready, find your way back through center. And then exhale to switch sides. Inhale to come back through center. Curl your toes under, lift your hips, downward facing dog. So try not to let your head droop so much that your neck starts to go in funky directions. If you're in your chair and you are able to, you'll stand up and come to the back of your chair, holding on to the back of your chair or even to a wall. You'll lean forward here. So feeling the upper back drop. If If you prefer to stay in your chair because that's what feels best for you, please feel free to do that. I will be fully honest, I am not 100% sure of variation for down dog while seated. I will work on that though for future classes. So if you are seated, no, I am thinking of you. I just not as well versed in this area as I'd like to be, and we'll find a seated meditation. Take one more breath in and breath out. Slowly walk your hands towards your feet, the back of your mat, and stay nice and folded over. If you were taking the standing down dog variation with your chair, go ahead and come back to your seat. Feel free to take the forward fold. And then slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. As you come up, find a nice tall position. My head's getting cut off. It's all right, my head's not important in this moment. We mostly just need to see my shoulders. Reach your hands behind your back. Your strap can come in very handy here, or just your shirt. As you clasp your hands, elbows can be bent, arms can be long. Think about squeezing your shoulder blades to open up your heart. So elbows can be bent to do this. It's a matter of how you feel. You open up your chest. So the part of the body which gets restricted because of us, just on computers, collapsing and driving a car, I think shoulders down the back, open up. Again, elbows can stay bent here, or you can place your hand in between hands and using that as well. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale, reach your arms up nice and long. As you exhale, hinge and fold forward. From here on your inhale, lengthen, find a flat back. Keep your neck in line with the rest. You did all that beautiful work. We don't want to collapse. Shoulders down the back. And then as you exhale, begin to walk back out to your downward facing dog. As you're ready, inhale, right leg will float to the sky. And exhale, you'll step your right foot in between your hands, drop back. As you inhale, lift on up, Anjaneyasana. So pause here. And for those of you in the chair, I will be right there. I wish there were two of me in this film. It would be easier to demonstrate that. But we'll get there. Think about lengthening through your spine, crown of head up. Hands can come behind your head. Open up your chest. Open up there. For those of you in your chair, as you're seated, you're going to take your right leg and open it up out to the side. And you may place a block underneath your left knee and you'll bend down here. So you'll be seated in the chair, but your torso is going to be facing over your right leg. You'll press back through your foot, feel a stretch in your feet, bring your hands up overhead. Take one more breath in and breath out. Inhale, frame your foot, uncurl back toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you're in your chair, come through center, fold forward if that feels good, or stay right where you're at. As you're ready, inhale, left leg will float to the sky. Exhale, left foot steps in between your hands. Drop your back knee, uncurl back toes, and lift up, Anjaneyasana. So you do send your hips forward a little bit. Think about your own personal tilt, whether your chest, your upper body comes forward or it stays back. Stay here, lift arms up, open up the heart one more time. If you're in your seated position, seated, open up left leg out to the side, and then bring right knee down onto a block. Upper body's in face, you're still in your chair. You'll stay here, open up. The more you press into your back heel and even into your back thigh, pressing your back thigh behind you, you're gonna feel the stretch along both thighs. Take one more deep breath in and out. Inhale, frame your front foot, uncurl back toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice long neck, long spine, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Slowly draw your knees back down to the ground. And we'll sit into our first yin shape. We'll come into mantis pose. So with mantis, a couple of options. Arms can be out nice and long in front of you. You can also use 2 blocks. And then place your elbows on the blocks. Make sure there's a space for your head. And then you'll draw your head down. Thumbs will come to the nape of your neck. So you'll feel a stretch along your triceps and likely in various other parts of your upper body. With your hips, if you're worried that your hips aren't touching your heels, don't worry about that. You're still getting great benefits from the shape. You're working with what your body is giving you. One thing that may help make the shape feel just a little bit better is by taking either a blanket or a pillow and placing that on your legs. If you're in a chair and you're able to, now is a good time to come on down to the ground and try that. If you're in the chair and like to stay there, again, feel free to take your forward fold. You might even open up your legs here at this point, so taking a wider forward fold with your legs. And if it feels okay for you and your body, put your legs, your hands behind you. Your legs, if they can go behind you, put your hands behind you. So slowly deepen your breath. Find steadiness in your breath. And that might be challenging, and that's okay. Do the best you can. This is not a contest. We're not in it to win it. You already won by showing up. So find your breath, that deep diaphragmatic breath, that 6-directional breath we've been practicing throughout. See if you can find it here in your stillness with your shape. If your body invites in movement, that's okay. Listen to that. It's telling you something. You may try to sit in the discomfort a little bit longer so we can practice being uncomfortable. It's something we need to practice. But again, we don't want to practice being in pain. So if you find that the shape is giving you pain, come out of it. And readjust and take a different shape. We'll come back into it after everything else. If you do need to take movement, make sure it's mindful and as you breathe. I'm going to be quiet for the remainder of 4 minutes here. We're holding the shape for a total of 5 minutes. I'm going to tell you the time just so you're not like, oh my gosh, that's so long, even though it may feel that way. The goal is just to let you know you won't be in here indefinitely. There is an end from the shape which we can move on from, but also so you've got plenty of time to slowly ease and sink into the shape. Find your breath. Feel the breath travel from the root through crown of head. And as you exhale, feel the breath travel from crown of head back down to the root. As you do so, belly, ribs, back expand. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly out of your shape. Take your time. Invite movement into your body if it calls to you. If stillness is what you need, start to find your way there. We'll come onto our bellies. No rush to get there, though. We'll take a puddle pose to begin before we move into our next shape. So thinking about rest here in your puddle pose and how rest can serve you best. I rhymed. But what can you do to nourish yourself right now? Also think about your neck and the rest of your spine in this moment. We've been doing a lot with our neck and our shoulders. So what might they need? The arms need to be long. Do you need to use it as a pillow? Listen and breathe. Using the floor as tactile reinforcement. So as you expand the belly, notice you can't go too far because the ground is going to stop you. Feel the breath move into the back side of your body. Breathe here. And take one more full breath in and a full breath out. We're going to come into our open wing variation. I'm going to demonstrate this using my left shoulder to start. You may want to have your blanket or your towel available to you just in case, depending especially on what kind of floor you're on. If you're on hardwood, you may find that this can be really helpful. So as you're on your belly, expand your arms out to a T. And then from here, bring right hand underneath right shoulder. And then as you're ready, roll onto your left shoulder. So rolling onto your left side. Legs can be nice and long. Knees can be bent toward your chest. You can take your top leg and bend it and place it on the inside of your bottom leg or on the outside of your bottom leg. Depending on how your body feels right now, you may be able to take a butterfly variation. If you're feeling this a lot in the joint, like there's pressure in the joint from the floor, take your towel, take your blanket, place it underneath your shoulder. Okay, so that's just going to provide a little extra cushion that you might need. And you can decide what level of blanket or towel you need from here. All right. So I'm just going to change my setup. So if you need to see a different location, different angle, if you will. Also, I should mention that your right hand, or your hand that's in the front of the body, it can stay there. It can become loosey-goosey, or you can even wrap it behind you. So decide what feels best for you. If it wants to just rest on your hip, that's excellent as well. If you notice that your neck is uncomfortably on the ground, like it just feels at a funky angle, place a block underneath there. It'll help lift it up so it stays in line with the rest of your spine. On your next exhale, gently come back through center. And bring your arms underneath your head, forehead on your hands. And then you're going to rock from side to side, using your shoulders to move the head back and forth. So let your shoulders get involved here. It's almost like a wave, a ripple effect, if you will. And then as you're ready, bring your arms back out to a T. We'll move into our other side. So you'll bend over the right arm. Left hand will come underneath the shoulder and you'll roll open here, taking your foot variation. I realize that I did not show the variation that can be taken in a chair. So if you're in the chair, my apologies, please pause. Once I show the variation, give yourself 4 minutes on the other side and then come back. If you're in the chair, you'll come to a wall. I'm going to use my table here to act as my wall, but you'll come to a wall and bring yourself to one side. Bring your chair up as far as you can go. Extend one hand out behind you and the other hand will be in front. And then you'll gently roll this way in your chair. So breathing here. As you're ready, On your next exhale, slowly unwind. Come back to your belly, come back through center. Taking those neck and shoulder movements. So we're lying on the ground, we're doing this. If you're in a chair, feel free to rock your head from side to side, maybe taking some gentle shoulder rolls. When you're ready, if it feels good, find stillness. Come into puddle pose. Let your arms be where they wish to be, whether that's long by your side or still using them as a pillow. And then from here, slowly begin to find your way up to your comfortable seat or to your knees. We're only using the comfortable seat or our knees as just a transition shape to get us ready for our supported fish pose. So for supported fish pose, I invite you to grab your blocks. And first, note how you're feeling emotionally today. This is going to be opening up the front side of our chest, especially where our heart is at. So there's a lot of things weighing on you heavily emotionally. You may want to come down to the lowest settings in your blocks, or you may just want to use your pillow, allowing the upper body and the back to drape over the pillow. If you're feeling that you could use a little bit more, that you need a little bit more, especially opening in the chest, and that feels comfortable for you and safe for you, you can come up to the highest and second level. So one block for the head, one block in between shoulder blades if it's vertical, or if it's horizontal, directly below the scapula, so right where the points happen in the scapula. You can stay with just your blocks, or you can use a pillow, placing the pillow to create a ramp. Legs can be out nice and long. Legs can be bent. Legs can be in a butterfly shape. So thinking about opening up our heart here. If you're in your chair and you're able to come onto the ground, I would recommend it for this position. A variation you can take is placing your pillow behind you as you sit forward a little bit and just starting to lean back, opening up. If you're leaning back to help support your neck, take your blanket and wrap it nice and long, probably a little bit, so you've got some support in your neck and you can just lean back. So breathe here. How can this shape support you? How can you get what you need from the shape and not the other way around? And take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Knowing you can stay here for Shavasana, you can come into a more traditional Shavasana on your back, or I would like to offer up another option today of a more healing Shavasana for our neck. So if you want to take one of the other two variations, feel free to go there, drown out my voice. That's totally cool. If you want to follow along with me for this final third option, grab a blanket. Grab your blanket. And you'll want to make sure that it's been folded lengthwise. So this was folded in half vertically, and then in half horizontally, and then a half vertically again. So as you place your blanket on the ground, you'll want to make sure that where your head is positioned and that the length of the blanket is so that it'll come down through a part of your back. From here, you'll just take some of it and create almost like a little bump. Okay, so not so much of a bump that when you lay down your head comes off, but just enough of a bump to really support your neck. You just place that blanket underneath your neck, arms by your side. Feel free to take that variation or another variation that is just going to serve you better. And I invite you here to take a deep, slow breath in through the nose. And exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out, let it go. Full breath in through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out, let it go. One final time here, deep breath in. And a deep breath out. If you're in your chair coming into your Shavasana, make sure you've got your blanket more in your horizontal folds, your vertical folds. So it's a little bit longer. And then place that behind your neck supporting you. So as you sit back, you've got cushion in your neck and you're feeling supported. You can even remove the pillow if you had had it before. Let yourself be here in this moment. This is not the time to reach for your cell phone. We just did all that work to try and release our neck. So let it stay loose. Hopefully it's looser. Let the mind and the distractions of the mind be here on the mat. Even as you let go of a more diaphragmatic breath, what do you notice about your natural breath? Can you let your breath wash over you? And as it washes over you, as you work from crown of head down to toes, feel your body start to let go. The muscles move away from bone. Feel everything soften. For you are here. Take a deep, slow breath in through the nose. And then exhale, open mouth, sigh it out. Stay here as long as you need. If you're ready, start to reawaken your senses, inviting some gentle movement back into the body. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. And then from here, when you're ready, find your way to a comfortable seat. We're going to close with 3 lion's breaths. So really getting our jaw involved, opening all of that up, and even opening up our heart one more time if you'd like. So bringing your hands just up to your heart, one on top of the other. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, lion's breath, cactus your arms, open your heart. Inhale, come back to center. Breath in. As you open hands, exhale. Last time, breath in. Let your fire out. So we draw our hands to our heart space. Bow our heads in a moment of gratitude, thanking ourselves for making time for our practice, and silently thanking those who joined us to create this virtual community in this virtual space. Be the positive change you wish to see in the world. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. Thank you so very much for joining me on this Friday. I hope you have a great rest of your evening and a fantastic weekend. I look forward to practicing with you again very soon.